Hello everybody. So I want to talk to you about allergies. This is allergy season. It's April and there's pollen and people are sniffling like crazy. And I know it's affecting their lives. I know you may be one of those people who's suffering from this and you're thinking, oh, this is the time when I start taking my over-the-counter antihistamines. And they seem to work well because now they've got these like daytime formulas that don't make you so drowsy, and I'll just take that and I'm okay. I get through the day. But let me ask you a question. When you take those over-the-counter medications, are you curing the allergies or are you suppressing the symptoms of those allergies? Something to think about, because antihistamine by definition stops the effect of histamine. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Histamine gets released in response to something that's an allergen. So let's just use pollen as an example. You get exposed to pollen, it goes into your nasal passages. You have these cells in your immune system, they float around in your blood. They're called mast cells and they release histamine. Then the histamine in your blood has receptors in different body parts, and there's 3 types of receptors actually. One of those receptors, when activated by histamine, will cause you to produce more mucus. So you get stuffy and congested and itchy and watery eyes, and well, you know better than I do because I don't have allergies, but some of you do, and you know what that feels like, and it's not a very good feeling. I'm assuming it's kind of like when you have a bad cold, and you get really stuffy and congested. That's one of the receptors. But believe it or not, there's 2 other receptors, and second receptor is on your gastrointestinal tract. It's in your stomach. And when that receptor gets activated by histamine, you get a lot of indigestion and acid reflux and digestive problems. And so if during springtime allergies come around, you're not getting congested, but all of a sudden your heartburn is worse, it's still the histamine. We just didn't know it was histamine. And then the third type of receptor, H3, the third histamine receptor, when histamine hits that one, that's when you get anxious and depressed or irritable. Which is why you look at the trends when allergy medication prescriptions rise, antidepressant prescriptions rise also, which is directly related and correlated. So now here's the part about antihistamines. When you take those over-the-counter antihistamines, they only block the H1 receptor, not the 2 and the 3, which means you could stop the congestion, but you still get the histamine response of indigestion and heartburn, or irritability, anxiety, depression, or if you're unlucky, all 3, and that's not so good. So my recommendation for you would be to come do a consultation with us at the office, and we'll talk to you about how to stop those mast cells from producing the histamine. There's supplements that can do that. It takes a little bit of time, but over the next few years, your mast cells won't produce histamine anymore in response to pollen and the other allergens. Secondly, there are things that help with symptoms that don't block the receptors, but they actually make your liver pull the histamine out of your blood and excrete it from your body. Kind of like a detoxification process of histamine, which works really well. Again, that's a different type of supplement that we can use. And the more severe your symptoms are, the more variety we have on getting rid of those symptoms while the other supplement starts to work on reducing production of histamine. So instead of blocking the receptor, let's reduce the body's production of histamine, and let's teach your liver how to pull that histamine out of your system so it doesn't harm you and affect you, so you can enjoy your spring because you deserve it.